Well, hello guys, this is the Betamax Man here, and this is some laser discs. In the last video I showed you some beta tapes, and now we're going to take a look at some laser discs. So I have about 5 episodes here on Laserdisc, Star Trek Next Generation. And this is a TV series that I grew up watching as a kid. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and I remember this show quite well. It was broadcasted on Channel 12 and Channel 49 on the free public airwaves. It used to be, back when I was a kid, it used to be you could put a antenna on your roof, and that antenna would allow you to pick up free television stations. You had UHF and VHF, and those stations, you know, where I lived, which was in Portland, we could get about, Portland, Oregon, we got roughly 8 or 9 channels that we got for free. And of course, back in the early 90s, they started taking away quite a bit of channels. They just, a lot of channels kind of disappeared, and I think it was kind of done, maybe done because, you know, cable TV was coming in, and you know, I'm not quite sure why they took some of the channels away, but they did. Anyway, so we have a used copy of Star Trek Next Generation, Yesterday's Enterprise, and The Offspring. And I think this is probably, I'm not sure what season this one is from. I was thinking either seasons 1 or season 2 when this, I think season 1, but I'm not sure. But this one's used, and we'll take it out of the protective sleeve there, and you'll see there's not much to see. You all know what a laser disc looks like, so you know there's not really any point in me taking this out. So what I will do is, because I don't want to take this all out one-handedly, what we'll do is open the other 2 that are sealed. I just wanted to show you that this was used. And so this is the used one, and one of my favorite episodes, The Best of Both Worlds, which is the Borg. It's the Borg episode. The very first time the Borg the first time the Borg was introduced to Star Trek, and it was a really good episode. This is part 2. I have part 1 coming in it should be on Monday or Tuesday at the latest. I have part 1 because this is part 2, and then there's another part. Suddenly Human is the episode for that one, and this one, as you can see, is sealed. I'm not happy about one of the corners getting damaged, so the person that shipped this didn't do a very good job, and some of the corners got kind of mangled. This one's not that bad. I think it was more the other one that got kind of mangled up, or maybe it was this one. Yeah, I think it was this one that had it was all mangled up, so. And here's the sealed copy. And there's the back. And Yeah, this one tells all about the episode. And here we have, yeah, this is, it says episodes 75 and 76. The one that we just recently, the used copy is episodes 63 and 64. It doesn't say what season it's from though, so this one for sure is from either season 4 or season 5. It's one of those two. And then we have All Good Things, the final episode. So episodes 77 and 78. And this one has Q in it. Oh, this is the one with the damaged corner. Right here, see all that? It's damaged. But it's sealed. Still sealed. As you can see, the shrink wrap. So, I'm going to open this one up last. Let's open up the... I'm going to put... let's put the used one on the bottom here. So, we'll open up the part 2. And I really got to wait for part 1 to come because it really doesn't make any sense to watch part 2 and not watch part 1. I'm not going to watch part 2 and then watch it again later if I wanted to. So let's get these unwrapped and get them unboxed. And, or unwrapped I should say, not unboxed, but unwrapped. So let's take them out and I try to buy Laserdiscs sealed. So I'm gonna get a pair of scissors or a knife and cut the shrink wrap so we can take it off. I just used my dental pick there to kind of peel it off, so here we go. Shrink wrap unwrapping for the very first time. Now, Laserdisc was very good quality. I'm a huge Laserdisc fan. Not a huge fan, but I am definitely a fan. Anybody who is a fan of Betamax VCRs would be a fan of Laserdisc. Why is that? Because Beta had a great picture. Well, Laserdisc had an even better picture. Now, is Laserdisc DVD quality? No, but it's pretty darn close. Here we go. Unwrapping for the very first time. Alright, let's get the... Oh. Get the dental pick and it will pick cut shrink wrap there. There we go. I don't want to bend it. Hard to do one-handed, you know, and not drop it. Okay. Here we go. Unwrapped. Yep. Now, I know that, you know, I know what you guys are thinking. Why not just get it on DVD? Yeah, I could get it on DVD. I mean, I actually have it on DVD actually already, but I wanted the Laserdisc. It's an analog format. and there's something special about it being on a Laserdisc. Laserdisc was the predecessor to DVD. I mean, without Laserdisc, DVD would have never happened. Because it was Laserdisc that inspired DVD. I mean, Pioneer came out with DVD. Pioneer saved Laserdisc, and Pioneer invented DVD. Now, it's kind of weird that Pioneer would put its own product out of business. Pioneer, I'm pretty sure that Pioneer was the one that came out with DVD. They did save the Laserdisc, though. They saved Laserdisc from an early death. So here's this one, and we'll take a look here. Let's see if this is it might be a paper sleeve or a plastic. It's a paper sleeve, so it's got the paper insert, and we'll take a look at the discs here. Let's get this last one opened up, and then we'll take a look at the discs. Yeah, it is kind of a difficult to try to get the... I wish they would have invented something to get the shrink wrap off better, you know, because I'm sure people have damaged the cover in the corners just by trying to unwrap the damn thing. I'm going to try and find as many of them as I can sealed. I like to buy them sealed because I know that the discs are not going to be scratched. When you buy them used, you take a risk of buying scratched disc. There we go. Here she is. She's going to come out. There it is. There's the wrap. There's the rub. Shrink wrap undone. Brand new films. Brand new films. Isn't that awesome? So let's take a look at the label, and we'll take a look at the disc itself, because if you haven't seen a Laserdisc, well, I guess this will be, if you haven't seen one before and you're watching this video, well, I guess we'll pull it out just so you can see what it looks like. Here we go. She's out. And I do want to inspect the discs to make sure they're not cracked. I actually did purchase a Laserdisc, and I had it shipped to me, and when I opened it up, it was sealed, but when I opened it up and I took the disc out, it had a crack all along the disc. So I just want to do a visual inspection, make sure that they are not cracked or anything like that. So, and there I am with a Sony camcorder. So there we go. It's that's what it looks like. So what they did was these I think the one episode was on one side and then they had the other episode on the other side. So with this one, side 1 has the best of both worlds, part 2, and I have part 1 coming. Part 1 is used, but it's supposed to be in mint condition, the other one. So number 2, Suddenly Human, on that particular side. And I'm gonna watch me some Laserdiscs, but first we must inspect the disc on the other one. So let's check out the other one. Let me put this one away, but this is what a Laserdisc looks like for those of you who have never seen one. It's just a gigantic 12-inch disc, and it's a silver platter is what they used to say. Life on a silver platter. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. Let's pull this one out. So, here's the other one. Let's pull this one out. I don't know why they shove them in there and then they don't put them in evenly, and the corners all bent. Okay, we'll just do a visual inspection. Make sure that there is no... So this is All Good Time, or All Good Things, side 1, and All Good Things, side 2, because it was a two-parter episode. Now, I'm hoping that these do not have laser rot. This was a common thing. Laser rot did happen in a lot of the earlier discs. Even some of the discs from the 90s had laser rot. And it was something that happened with laser discs. Now, sometimes it was done because of, it was done in the making process. And sometimes it happened because the glue that they used to glue two sides together would deteriorate and show through the reflective surface of the disc. When the reflective surface is damaged or something is coming through it, the laser can't read the information on the disc. So that's something that did happen with Laserdisc, but laser rot doesn't happen to almost every disc. It's once in a while you'll run into a problem, and sometimes you could see the laser rot, like little dark lines or dark circles, or you know, and sometimes you couldn't see it. Like sometimes a disc would have a lot disc rot and you couldn't see it. You physically couldn't see it on the disc of having that, and then sometimes you could. I have a disc that's Charlotte's Web cartoon. It's on disc, a laser disc, and you could see the little dots, like little black dots, where that was a situation where the glue deteriorated, started showing through the reflective surface of the disc. And so that is why. So we're going to put this disc back in and I'm going to watch them. So I'm going to watch me a couple of these episodes. I'm going to watch the Borg episode, even though I don't have number 1 yet. I'm going to watch number 2. Then when number 1 comes, I'll watch number 1, and then I'll watch number 2 again. So there we go. Here are the three discs that we have. I've got a 4th disc coming. I think that over a long period of time, I will eventually collect all of the Next Generation TV series on Laserdisc. Now, they only put one episode per, or 2 episodes per disc. Now, what I was mentioning with the disc rot, with the glue deteriorating and showing through reflective surface of the disc, they took 2 discs and glued them together. DVD is only one disc, a single disc. Well, no, they have 2 layers as well. But DVD is done a little differently than Laserdisc. But with DVD, they call it a dual-sided, a 4.7 dual-sided, which is basically just 2 pieces of plastic sandwiching the data, the information. But yeah, they took 2 discs, 2 giant discs, glued them together, and that made up a Laserdisc. So they did one side, like side A they would make, and then side B, and then they would sandwich them together. So there we go, the Next Generation, and they're ready to be watched and enjoyed and collected. I'm gonna collect all of the Next Generation. I'm gonna eventually have the whole Next Generation series. Another one that I would like to collect is Star Trek Voyager. Would be another. Now they done them in volumes. Like season 1 would be done in like 2 volumes, because they would there's like 10 discs per volume. With Laserdisc, see, with DVD they were able to get 4 or 5 episodes on one disc. Well, with Laserdisc, having the only ability that Laserdisc had was that it can only do up to 1 hour on one side. 1 hour was the maximum record time. Now, these episodes were over 30 minutes, so they couldn't record in CAV, which was the standard. They had to do CLV. CLV gave you more time, gave you an hour, exactly 1 hour. Now, the picture quality was not as clear and sharp as the CAV. CAV had a better picture than CLV, but you can't really tell the difference between CAV and CLV unless you had the same show on the same, in 2 monitors. You'd have to have 2 TVs and 2 players, and they'd have to be the same player, they'd have to be the same TV, and you could put them side by side, and you would be able to tell, you might be able to tell the difference between CAV and CLV. CAV stood for constant angular velocity, CLV stood for constant linear velocity. And they had another one as well, but those are the 2 common ones. So those are the 2 common record speeds for the laser discs. So, and I got my Panasonic Lx1000U Prism laser disc player. Will play not only laser discs and video CDs, it'll play audio discs, compact audio discs. So I'm gonna go enjoy them and see you guys in the next pickups video or in the next Betamax video, because the part 2 or part 1 the repair of the GCS50 Betamax machine is going to be done tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll have the video as well of the machine, the VCR, because we're going to fix that one. Because that one won't play, it won't fast forward, it won't rewind, and it eats tapes when you eject. So we're going to fix that. Well guys, I'm just taking a look at the Laserdisc here, and I'm watching The Best of Both Worlds Part 2. I'm waiting for Part 1 to come in, but my point is this. I've got it paused, and I don't think I'll get hit with a copyright claim if it's paused. The Laserdisc transfers. The transfers that they done on Laserdisc is better than the transfers that was done on the original DVD release. They released them on DVD, and there was quite a bit of color bleeding on the DVD transfers. Now, they transferred them from videotape to DVD. Now, the thing is, they done the same thing. These were probably, they might have been mastered a little differently. They were probably mastered from videotape to Laserdisc as well. But these were probably 1-inch master tapes or 2-inch master tapes. The mastering on these are better. There's no color bleeding like there is on the DVD masters. The Laserdiscs. Well, let's hit play and I'll show you the quality of the and with this Panasonic Laserdisc, it can pause with a picture, which is something that CLV is not supposed to be able to do. CAV was the only one that was supposed to be able to do it, but this player can play frame by frame with the CLV discs. But as you can see, the uniform is very clear. I'm gonna do that so that I don't get hit with a copyright. But look at the clarity of the colors are crisp and bright. There's no discoloration at all. The discoloration. Now, there's also a built-in time-based corrector, which does correct a lot of issues, and it does help make the image look better. But if I go on my jog shuttle dial and I can pause it like that, or I can pause it with turn my jog dial off, hit play. If I hit pause, regular pause, then it goes blue screen. But the quality is very good. Really good. So I just thought that the DVD transfers were not as good as the Laserdisc master transfers. So I think it's pretty cool, but
I need all of you where you are. For Captain Picard, always relied on you. I have been, reluctantly, forced to conclude that Commander Shelby, our expert on the board, is an ideal choice at this time.
yeah, the fact that I can, you know, go frame by frame. I mean, I can go frame by frame. I'm doing this, as you can see. And we got the dark. I let the light go off there so you can see but I can also go forward. I can go forward, slow, fast, or backward. That is really good. That's really good quality. It's real, I mean, yeah, the picture's a little jittery. But, you know, for being a CLV and being able to do special effects like that, that's pretty cool. That is really, really neat. As you can see, now you can see the special effects, and I can go forward. This is the Panasonic Lx1000U, and this is a very sought after Laserdisc player, and it's one that I've been searching for about a year now. I've been searching for one of these, and I finally, maybe 6 months to a year, I've been searching for this model. But the thing is that the laser discs have better quality than the DVDs as far as the mastering, how it was done, because this was mastered very well. On the Blu-ray releases, they went and done the original, they took the original film, the film print, and did the Blu-rays. And the Blu-rays look good, but on the Blu-ray, the film, the uniforms are more of a really bright red. And the uniforms on an analog transfer are kind of a mixture between a red and a purple. And they look more, the uniform looks more purple to me on a Laserdisc or DVD compared to the Blu-ray. Now, they might have did some color correcting when they done the Blu-rays. You know, they might have done color correcting, or that they're supposed to be bright red. It's just that Blu-ray is showing up as that color because it's a true form. It's coming from the film. So I'm not sure if this was laser. I watched a couple of Pioneer videos, and they were talking about how with laser discs, a lot of times they would transfer the movie or TV series from a 1-inch or a 2-inch master tape, meaning that the editing and everything was done on tape, and the tape became the master tape because that's the tape that they use to do all their transfers to Betamax, VHS. Yes, they did have these. Some of these episodes were available on Beta, as well as VHS, and they had it on Laserdisc. There was no CED because CED died several years before the series even came out. So there's only VHS, Beta, or Laserdisc. Those are your three options, and finding the Beta copy is hard to find. They're real hard to find, the Beta releases. But this is just, to be able to do this, you know, to be able to just do that is so cool. Just cool. I just think that the transfers they done on these laser discs were very good. And they did an awesome job putting these episodes on Laserdisc. I just really prefer I now prefer to watch the Laserdiscs over the DVDs. I'd rather watch the Laserdisc over the DVDs that I have. So I'm definitely going to collect all of the Laserdiscs. It'll take me some time, but I'll be able to collect them all. I think it'll take me time to find them, but I think eventually I will find all of them on Laserdisc. Now, they did Star Trek Voyager, they did Star Trek Deep Space Nine, that was also available on Laserdisc, and so it'd be really cool to have the whole entire Next Generation, Voyager, Deep Space Nine, Right now I'm just going to focus on the Next Generation. And I do also want to get the original series on Laserdisc as well. The original series was only it was on 40 discs, something like that. So, I have the original Star Trek TV series. I do have it on Betamax. As you can see down there on the shelf, I've got the whole, there's like 79 tapes. 79 tapes all together. Because they only put one episode per tape. So, the original series, they ran for 3 seasons, and there was like 79 episodes. But the Next Generation, I'm not sure how many discs there were. I would guess anywhere from 40 to 50 discs, maybe more, when it comes to Star Trek Next Generation. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of share that with you and kind of show you a little bit of the quality that I'm getting. Now, yes, the built-in time-based corrector that Laserdisc has is definitely giving the disc an edge in sharpness and clarity. Laserdisc is actually something that I prefer over DVD. I'm not really a DVD fan. The only reason why I like DVD is because you can get your TV. A lot of the TV series that I grew up with is available on DVD. And you can get the whole entire season on a disc, DVD for, a set of DVDs, season 1 or whatever, for $20 or less, and you get the whole season. So, and finding the TV series on Laserdisc is pretty hard. I mean, so depending on what show it is, it can be hard or it could be easy. It just depends on how many of them they made. But I'm sure the Next Generation was a series that everybody wanted, and because Star Trek was very popular. I'm more of a Star Wars fan, but when it comes to I do like Star Trek as well. My uncle, my dad and my uncle, they were called Trekkies because they love Star Trek. But I'm more of a Star Wars person, but I still love Star Trek. Don't get me wrong, I still like Star Trek, and I like the Next Generation, and I like Voyager because I grew up watching those TV series with my dad and my uncle and my mom. My uncle used to live like 25 blocks down, literally 25 houses down. You would find my uncle was right there. And then we had a family friend that lived really close to my uncle. And so we all loved Star Trek. And so, I got into it because my dad was into it, because my uncle was into it, and my mom liked Star Trek, but my mom's not into it as much as my dad was. I lost my dad, last year, so seeing the Star Treks really kind of bring back some good memories of me and my dad, you know? So that's one of the reasons why I have such an attachment to the Next Generation series, because I grew up watching it with my dad, you know? So, anyway, I think, my opinion, that the Laserdisc transfers are way better than the DVD transfers. There we go. I said it. And maybe the uniforms are supposed to be bright red. I mean, you can see in the pictures that the uniform is red. But on when you're watching it on TV, the DVDs or the Laserdisc, they look a little bit between purple and red, but I think the Blu-ray transfers are the truest form of the show, and I think that you're definitely not going to beat Blu-ray. If you're buying it on Blu-ray, you're not going to beat the Blu-ray. Laserdisc is not going to beat Blu-ray by far, but Laserdisc is just something that's just a cool nostalgia memory lane. And of course, first time I seen a Laserdisc, and the first time I've even watched one, was in my science class back in high school. Back in high school, I had a science teacher named Mr. Flynn, and he had a Laserdisc player, and he had a lot of scientific videos on Laserdisc, and he was a huge fan of Laserdisc. He was a movie buff, you know, so, anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.